This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone, welcome to a very busy edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've obviously got a lot of stakes racing action to cover. We are going to begin things at Delaware Park with the running of the Brandywine Handicap on Saturday, a $100,000 event for older horses. Let's head down to Delaware in the running of the Brandywine.
We're about set. And they're off. Windsor Castle toward the inside, Private Lap, and Private Lap will come out on top. Into that first turn. Private Lap getting well off the rail there and leaving a big opening for Bowman's Band toward the inside to slip on through there, but Private Lap leads it by a length. Bowman's Band with the rail second, Classic Endeavor Racing third, followed by Windsor Castle, and Justification is your trailer as they make their way around that first turn. Opening quarter goes in 24 seconds flat. Moderate tempo for this group as they reach the backstretch. Private Lap on the outside and Bowman's Band on the inside are just heads apart. Now it's about 3 lengths further back to Classic Endeavor. Same gap to Windsor Castle on the inside of Justification, who's about 7 lengths off the lead, being set by Private Lap as they make their way toward the half-mile marker. Private Lap now by a full length. Bowman's Band racing second. It's about 3 and 3.5 lengths further back to Classic Endeavor. A length and a half to Windsor Castle, and Justification running as a team as they make their way into the turn. Half 46 and 3. That was a quick quarter there as they make their way into the turn. Private Lap continues to show the way. Now Bowman's Band is back to challenge again. They're now on even terms. They've now got about 5.5 lengths on Windsor Castle. Justification and Classic Endeavor is dropping out of it. Quarter mile to go. It's a 2-horse affair. Private Lap on the outside. Bowman's Band on the inside. 6 or 7 lengths further back to Windsor Castle as they head for home. The 6 went in 111 flat. It's Bowman's Band on the inside. Private Lap on the outside are still in a match race. They've opened up 10 lengths on the Windsor Castle and Justification. A 16th to go. Bowman's Band is all out on the inside. On the outside, Private Lap is trying to come back. Bowman's Band, Private Lap. Bowman's Band will win it by a neck. Private Lap a game second, far back to Justification up for third.
Bowman's Band and Ramon Dominguez dropping back a little bit in class here and picking up a nice victory at just over 3-1 from the favorite Private Lap, and neck the margin of victory after Private Lap broke very sharply and went on to the lead. He was never able to really shake Bowman's Band, who was able to make up a solid amount of ground late. Justification, another horse shipping out of town from New York. Allowance Company picking up the third spot. The winner, Bowman's Band, is a chestnut 5-year-old son of Dixieland Band from Hometown Queen by Pleasant Colony. He was bred by John W. Rooker in Kentucky. He is owned by Martin Schwartz, trained by Michael Matz, and ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Bowman's Band covers the flat mile on the wet track at Delaware Park in 136 and 3. We're going to head to Churchill Downs next for the running of the Jefferson Cup, a Grade 3 $200,000 mile and a mile and an eighth for 3-year-olds on turf. Let's head to Churchill and the running of the Jefferson Cup.
Off and running in the Jefferson Cup. Rapid Proof to the front at the hedge. Opens up early on Fufa's Warrior, who broke well, but he's wrangled back as Shake the Bank moves up to take the early lead. Fufa's Warrior's racing in second. Willard Straight is third. Reminds on the outside under a nice hole fourth. Moonshine Hall racing fifth. Then the favorite Senor Swinger and Rapid Proof, who broke on top. He's the trailer. Now 10 lengths front to back with 7 furlongs to go. Shake the Bank. And James Lopez opening up on the front end now by 4. Flashing his speed out there. Remind racing second by 2. Fufa's Warrior is up close today, racing third. Moonshine Hall fourth, and Willard Straight 2 back to Senor Swinger, and a gap of 4 to Rapid Proof at the back of the pack. 23 and 1 for the quarter. On to the backside they wheel. Leading the way, Shake the Bank is opened up here by 7 lengths early. Remind a clear cut second, then Fufa's Warrior steered off the fence third. Moonshine Hall racing in fourth by 2. Senor Swinger starts to inch up into contention now, then Willard Straight and Rapid Proof from the back of the pack moving past the half-mile pole. Shake the Bank cuts out a half, a solid 46 and 2, leads it clear by 6 still. To Remind second. Fufa's Warrior nudged along, inching up from third by 2.5 more. Senor Swinger, then Moonshine Hall, Rapid Proof, and Willard Straight as they wind for the quarter pole. Shake the Bank just by 2. Remind closing that gap. Senor Swinger, he steered off the fence and rallies up third. Rapid Proof is flying up the inside from the back of the pack now, and Fufa's Fufus Warrior, final furlong. Senor Swinger to the front. Rapid Proof getting through on the inside. Then Remind. Senor Swinger opening up past the 8th pole, and he's drawing clear again to win nicely on the grass at Churchill Downs. Senor Swinger winning the Jefferson Cup, dominating by 6 at the wire. Then Remind in Rapid Proof in a photo.
Senor Swinger, Robbie Alvarado getting up on him for the first time and drawing off to an easy 5-length victory at odds on, coming out of a 5th place finish in the Preakness, returning to the turf. He had won on the turf the day before the Kentucky Derby. Remind running a solid second, giving chase just about every step of the way behind the early pace setter Shake the Bank, not having enough left when Senor Swinger came to him late. Rapid Proof rallies from well off the pace at 13-1 to complete the top 3. The winner, Senor Swinger, is a 3-year-old gray or roan son of El Prado from Smooth Swinger by Chris S. He was bred in Kentucky by Bob Ackerman, owned by Bob and Beverly Lewis, trained by Bob Baffert, and ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado. Senor Swinger covers the 1 1/8 on the firm turf course in 1:47.2. We're going to head to California next to Bay Meadows for the running of the Bay Meadows Breeders' Cup Sprint, a Grade 3 $150,000 6 furlongs for the older horses. Let's head to Northern California and the running of the Bay Meadows Sprint.
And there they go. Presidio Heights was off slowly. El Dorado Shooter claims the lead through the early stages. Presidio Heights has recovered to be within a length of the pace. For the back is Taste of Paradise, Halo Cat, How About Jose, and Radar Contact. El Dorado Shooter to cross Sinclair. He takes full advantage of the slow start from Presidio Heights, who will stalk the pace from second. 3 of them line up for third, including How About Jose, 3 wide outside of Taste of Paradise. Halo Cat holds the rail running. That group of 3 has more than 3.5 to make up on El Dorado Shooter. The trailer is Radar Contact. 21-3 for the opening quarter. El Dorado Shooters clear with a 2-length advantage before the quarter pole. Presidio Heights will have to stalk from second. Further back in the field, Taste of Paradise, Halo Cat, How About Jose, and Radar Contact. The half went in 43-2. El Dorado Shooter arrives at the 8th pole with the lead, and the margin's more than 4. He's running away from Presidio Heights. Halo Cat's gonna fire into second. Taste of Paradise is fourth, a late charge from Radar Contact, but he's no threat to El Dorado Shooter. El Dorado Shooter for his 12th career victory.
El Dorado Shooter, a horse that when he is at his best can be a very, very dangerous horse on the front end, showed good speed, drawing clear by 2 by about half of the race was gone by, about 3 furlongs out, and he just continued to roll along very nicely, almost 5 lengths the margin to Halo Cat, with Radar Contact rallying from well back off the pace to pick up the 3rd spot. El Dorado Shooter's very early fractions very quick. He was able to hold on very nicely. El Dorado Shooter is a 6-year-old chestnut horse, a son of man from El Dorado, from Maui, Leafior J. by Leafior. He was bred in California by Clifford de Lima, owned by Barbara de Lima and trained by Clifford de Lima, ridden to victory by Chad Schwanevelt. El Dorado Shooter covers the 6 furlongs of the Bay Meadows Breeders' Cup in 1:08.3. We're going to head back to California next, going to Southern California for a trio of stakes, beginning on Saturday with the running of the Desert Stormer, a Grade $300,000 sprint for fillies and mares. Let's head to Hollywood in Saturday's running of the Desert Stormer.
They're off. Jet into Houston, broke running. Wild Tickle through from the inside. Sees Elegance close up. Bear Fan 4 deep. And Palmarola right in the mix. These 5 race out. Madame Pietra is the lone trailer as they fire up the backstretch. Sees Elegance very sharp early. Bear Fan 3 deep. And Jet into Houston at the rail. And these 3 line up and throw down at the half-mile pole. They have outsprinted Palmarola and Wild Tickle. Palmarola drops back to 5th and 5 from the front. Madame Pietra is 6th and last as they fire into the far turn. In the 7th Desert Stormer handicap, it is Jet into Houston and Sees Elegance. These 2 match strides. Bear Fan still very much a part of the battle. 3 of them across the track, and now they're a 1/4 mile from home. Madame Pietra is up to 4th now, and she is 4 lengths from the lead. Then Wild Tickle, Palmarola has dropped out last, and Bear Fan comes rolling off the top of the turn. It is Kurt Bork and Bear Fan. She'll have to hold off Madame Pietra, who is on the move and closing ground with every stride. Jet into Houston back to 3rd. Madame Pietra and Bear Fan. These 2 to the final 100 yards. It's going to be desperately close. Madame Pietra, Bear Fan. Here comes Madame Pietra.
Madame Pietra making it 4 in a row, going off at 6-1 off of the layoff. She hasn't been seen since winning the Sunshine Millions filly or mare sprint back in January, but comes back running with a very big effort from well off the pace. The early fractions setting up very nicely for her off the pace move under Pat Valenzuela. Bear Fan running very nicely, fairly close to the pace in the early part of the race. Held on well to the second spot with Jet into Houston. Early pace setter as usual, dueling very tough till she just was able to, just had to give it up late. She really fought back until about the final 16th of a mile as the favorite. The winner, Madame Pietra, a dark bay or brown 6-year-old mare, a daughter of Roy from Missy White Oak by Baderwood, was bred in Florida by Curtis Mickelson and Patricia Horth. She is owned by C.T. Grether and trained by Howard Zucker. Ridden to victory by Pat Valenzuela. Desert Stormer winner Madame Pietra covers the 6 furlongs in 109.3. We're going to head back to Hollywood now for the running of the Honeymoon Breeders' Cup Handicap, a $200,000 event for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 on the grass. Let's head back to Hollywood in the running of the Honeymoon.
They're up. Got Dream in Shapes and Shadows, Sharp Bill to the outside, and Sharp Bill challenges Shapes and Shadows early. Got Dream takes back. Bartox Blythe, Atlantic Ocean, Ketto, and Major ID are next. Then Ladies Mantle and Star Vega, and the early trailer is Rudder's Renegade. It is Shapes and Shadows and Sharp Bill. 1-2 at the clubhouse turn. Shapes and Shadows a half length in front. Sharp Bill is second by 1.5 lengths. Atlantic Ocean settles into the perfect turf tracking trip. She's 3rd and 2 from the front. Ketto has moved her way to the 2-path. Nice move by Tyler Bays to save some ground at the clubhouse turn from an outside gate. Got Dream is 5th with 4 to come. Then comes Major Idea. She's 5 lengths off the front running Shapes and Shadows. Bartox Blythe, the entry mates of Ladies Mantle and Star Vega, are both 7 from the front, and Rudder's Renegade is at the back of the pack as they head up the back stretch. And it is still Shapes and Shadows in front with Sharp Bill and a waiting Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is bottled up and just waiting for a place to go. She's 2 from the front. Got Dream joins Ketto. Those two are 4th and 5th and 3.5 lengths off the lead. Major Idea is a length behind them. Ladies Mantle and Star Vega still 6 from the front. Then Bartox Blythe, and the trailer is Rudder's Renegade, and they round the far turn. Shapes and Shadows continues to lead. Atlantic Ocean nowhere to go and absolutely full of run. If Atlantic Ocean finds a way through, she is the one. Shapes and Shadows to the top of the stretch. To the outside, Major Idea comes with a good run. Sharp Bill keeps Atlantic Ocean still bottled up. Got Dream is next, and Ketto, and they come to the final furlong. Shapes and Shadows in front. Here's the seam for Atlantic Ocean, and she comes bursting on through. Ketto and Sharp Bill, 4 to the wire. Atlantic Ocean splits horses. Ketto to the outside. These two to the wire. Ketto, Atlantic Ocean, Ketto, yes!
Cuero and Tyler Bays coming down from Northern California to pick up stakes credentials in a Grade 2. In fact, the first stakes win for this filly. Nice efforts. She broke from wide post position 10. She was wide in the chute and ended up 3 wide into the lane, but still a very nice effort by a neck over multiple stakes winner Atlantic Ocean, who is certainly a versatile filly, very good on both turf and dirt, handling this field very nicely. However, Atlantic Ocean ends up in the second spot as the favorite. Sharp Bill, a European import from Great Britain, shows very good speed here and held on nicely at 25-1. Perhaps a filly that we will see a little bit more from Nick Kanani in the coming months. Cuero is a 3-year-old bay, daughter of Royal Academy from Big Dreams by Great Above, bred in Kentucky by John Gaines Thoroughbreds and Pachelco Incorporated, owned by Old Friends Incorporated and trained by Paulo Lobo. Ridden to victory by Tyler Bays, Cuero covers the 1 1/8 on the turf course at Hollywood in 1:49.1. One stakes race from Hollywood on Sunday, the Cinderella for 2-year-old fillies, $75,000 5 furlong dash for the young ladies. Let's head back to California and the running of the Cinderella.
They're up. Yogi's Polar Bear and Hot Weekend break 1-2. Smoke Break and Dirty Deanna are close up. Chalet Chanteuse and Outrageous Oyster are next. Then Okie Dokie Kooky and Sweet 9. And Wacky Patty is at the back of the pack. Smoke Break fastest up the backstretch. She's 1.25 lengths in front of Hot Weekend and Dirty Deanna. Dirty Deanna's in a tough and tight spot at the rail. Yogi's Polar Bear is 4th and 3 lengths off the lead. Chalet Chanteuse didn't corner well. It cost her a position. Passed by Outrageous Oyster. Sweet 9 is next. Then comes Wacky Patty at the back of the pack with Okie Dokie Kookie, and they run to the top of the stretch, and Smoke Break is in charge. It is Smoke Break in the 41st Cinderella Stakes. She leads Yogi's Polar Bear, who's run up into second. Hot Weekend has suddenly backed out of it, as has Dirty Deanna, and this is Smoke Break and Yogi's Polar Bear to the final furlong, and Yogi's Polar Bear takes over the lead. Smoke Break is second. It's a long way back to Outrageous Oyster in third, but it's Yogi's Polar Bear to take charge and run away, and she'll be Cinderella winner. It is Yogi's Polar Bear in front. Yogi's Polar Bear won by 3. Smoke Break was second.
Yogi's Polar Bear breaks her maiden in Stakes Company. She began with a second-place finish in Maiden Company, came back and ran second in the Nursery last time out, and this time at 8.5 to 1, turns the tables, breaks her maiden in a stalking trip, makes a nice bid, leading past the 8th pole and drawing clear by 3 over Smoke Break, who was the early pace setter at 12 to 1. Outrageous Oyster rallying after chasing in the early part of the race, a 3-wide bid to finish third at 33 to 1 is the favorite in the field. Hot Weekend shows good speed in a chasing position early, but dropped back rather dramatically to finish 6th in the field of 9. The winner, Yogi's Polar Bear, is a Gray-Roan's 2-year-old daughter of Lucky Lionel from Gray Touch by Entropy, bred in Florida by the Adena Springs Farm and owned by Bell Brewer and et al., trained by Wesley Ward and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza. Yogi's Polar Bear covers the 5 furlongs of the Cinderella in 104 and 2. We're going to pause for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be starting out taking a look at a very busy week from Belmont Park. Please stay with us.
We tried telling you nicely.
Get with the program.
Then we got a little bolder.
Get with the program.
Now we're practically shouting.
Get with the program. Know your friend.
And here are some of the reasons why. New York breds race for purses and incentives exceeding $40 million. New York bred yearling prices have risen significantly, bucking the national trend. The New York Stallion Stakes Series has expanded to 8 races worth a combined $1.25 million. New York bred restricted stakes have grown from $75,000 to $100,000 at both Belmont and Saratoga. And they're doing okay in open company. Isn't it time for you to get with the program, the New York Breeding and Racing Program?
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue with stakes racing action, heading to Belmont Park, where they ran a very busy week on Belmont Stakes Week, beginning on Thursday with the running of the ungraded Fashion Stakes for 2-year-old fillies, $75,000, going 5. Let's head to Belmont and the running of the Fashion.
They're off. Rodeo-licious fires right out of there, quickly in front. Bikini Wiggle was off second. And then it's I've Got the Music in Me. And away a bit slowly were Barnsey and Renaissance Lady. They're chasing Rodeo-licious, who's got 4 lengths on him already. Rodeo-licious goes out winging. And Bikini Wiggle's in between horses. Renaissance Lady on the far outside, Barnsey. And the trailer is now I've Got the Music in Me. 21 and 4 for the opening quarter here for Rodeo-licious, who comes to the quarter pole leading by 3. Renaissance Lady driving hard now. Second on the outside, and Bikini Wiggle third at the rail. Off the turn into the stretch. Rodeo-licious still holding them off a bit green. Now ducking in. Leads by 2.5 lengths. Renaissance Lady still trying to reel her in. Then farther back to Bikini Wiggle third. Left-handed whip. Rodeo-licious still there. Now Mig goes right-handed on Rodeo-licious. Holding on to that lead coming down to the line. Renaissance Lady gains ground late. Too late. Not enough. Rodeo-licious wins the Fashion Stakes by a length over Renaissance Lady.
Rodeo-licious almost appearing to break through the gate a split second before it opened. She speed popped this field, opened up 5 on the turn. She had a 1.5 length advantage over the favored Renaissance Lady as they crossed under the finish line. Bikini Wiggle running well between horses early, tiring a bit in the stretch to finish third. As the favorite in here at odds-on, interestingly enough, off an impressive maiden win last time out. Rodeo-licious, a New York bred who had broken her maiden against a little bit lesser company, moving right in here to a very competitive running of the fashion with a big victory. The winner, Rodeo-licious, is a chestnut daughter of rodeo from Shorty's Promise by Reckless Blade, bred in New York by Glenn Brock, owned by our Blue Streak Stable and Pre-K Stable, trained by Carl DeVille and ridden to victory by Richie Migliori. Rodeo-licious covers the 5 furlongs of the fashion in 58 seconds flat. We're going to continue with 2-year-old stakes racing action from New York with the Flash, a Grade 3 $75,000 5 furlong dash. Once again, for juveniles, let's head back to Belmont in the running of the Flash.
And they're off. Chapel Royal gets out there first. Hassle-Free is away second on the inside. Mighty Awesome and Juventus outsprinted as they race into the first turn. And it's Chapel Royal going head-to-head here with Hassle-Free. Hassle-Free on the inside, Chapel Royal on the outside. There's nothing between them. The two of them have pulled away from Mighty Awesome by 7 lengths already. And Juventus is fourth as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. It's still Hassle-Free and Chapel Royal, the two of them full throttle as they turn for home. A big break back to the other two, Juventus and Mighty Awesome. And as they come off to turn, it's Chapel Royal who's taken the lead. Chapel Royal in front by a neck. Hassle-Free fights on but is now given way. A length and a half behind Chapel Royal, who rolls past the 8th pole by 2 widening lengths. Hassle-Free second by another 6, and Juventus third. And they're coming down to the finish. A good-looking effort here by Chapel Royal, winning it decisively by 4 lengths over Hassle-Free. Juventus checked in third. The final time, 57 flat.
Chapel Royal and John Velasquez, they got into a nice duel there with Hassle-Free. In fact, by the top of the stretch, it appeared that those two might end up running right down the lane together, but Chapel Royal was able to put away his rival from the outside position. Hassle-Free stuck down on the rail under Jerry Bailey, ending up in the second spot. Juventus, who was far back in the early going, rallies into third in the short field of 4. The winner, Chapel Royal, now 2 for 2, was a very expensive purchase in the 2-year-olds at training sale earlier on this year. He's a dark bay or brown son of Montbrook from Cut Class Leanne by Cutlass, bred in Florida by Ocala Stud, owned by Derek Smith and Michael Tabor, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by John Velasquez. Chapel Royal covers the 7 furlongs of the Flash in 57 seconds flat. Continuing with Friday stakes racing action, we're going to take a look next at the Grade 1 Acorn for 3-year-old fillies. A flat mile here for the fillies, going for a $250,000 purse. Let's head back to Belmont and take a look at last Friday's running of the Acorn.
And they're off. Randaroo off to an alert beginning. Birdtown's got speed today, and Birdtown's in front. Birdtown with a different gambit this afternoon. In front by a head. Randaroo on the inside second. And then it's Storm Flag Flying, was in and among horses in the early going. Kitty Knight just to her outside. Lady Tack right there, only about 3 lengths from the lead. And then it's Final Round and House Party as they continue up the backstretch. Randaroo is matching strides with Birdtown. Storm Flag Flying drafting in behind them. On the outside, Kitty Knight in the clear. Kitty Knight now running third. Storm Flag Flying is fourth. House Party will take a run through on the inside. Lady Tack and Final Round. Around the far turn, the pace has been moderate at 23 and 2 opening quarter, but now they're picking up that tempo, and Birdtown forges to a short lead. Randaroo counters and comes right back. Randaroo, Birdtown, head-to-head. The half went in 46 and 1/5 seconds. Final Round with a sweeping move. Final Round coming up now on the far outside. In the meantime, Storm Flag Flying has dropped back to last, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Birdtown has a short lead. Final Round to her outside. Randaroo to her inside. House Party just in behind. Lady Tack is coming with her run now, and Storm Flag Flying is toiling way behind. They're in the final furlong. Birdtown trying to hold off. Lady Tack in Final Round. Birdtown digs down. Lady Tack is surging to her. They're coming down to the finish. Birdtown is tenacious as Lady Tack surges. Here's the wire. Birdtown. Defeat was not an option for her today.
Birdtown now 2 in a row after a win in the Kentucky Oaks, making it a second Grade 1 victory consecutively, just holding on. The official margin was ahead. Looked like it was a short head, long nose affair in my book. Lady Tack got off to a little bit of a slow start. She was pinched back just a bit in the early part of the race. She is a filly that usually does her best running fairly close. She did make up some ground late and just missed on the wire. Final round made up quite a bit of ground nicely to make a 4-wide move into the stretch. She was crowded just a little bit by the first 2 finishers, but was really no match for them, a battle length behind Lady Tack in the 3rd spot. The winner, Birdtown, is a bay filly, a daughter of Cape Town from Dear Birdie by Stormbird, bred in Kentucky by Mary Lou Whitney, owned by Mrs. Whitney's Stables and trained by Nick Zito, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado. Birdtown, now perhaps the pro tem leader of the 3-year-old division, as Storm Flag Flying ran fairly close to the early pace and dropped back midway around the turn to finish 6th in the field of 7 as the favorite. Last year's 2-year-old filly champ has not appeared to come back to the races in her very best form. Nonetheless, Birdtown seems to have taken command of the division. Birdtown covers the flat mile of the Acorn on a fast track at Belmont for the first time in a long time in 1:35.1. Next, we're heading into Saturday. We're going to get a very busy day, kicked off with the Grade 2 True North, a $250,000 6-furlong sprint for 3 and up. Let's head to Belmont and take a look at Saturday's running of the True North.
And they're off. Giovanetti comes firing right out of there. Shake You Down away second on the outside. Pioneer Boy third. Then a break of 4 back to State City Vodka. And Highway Prospector trails the field. Shake You Down and Giovanetti. And they're going at it in an all-out duel into the far turn. They're 3 lengths ahead of Pioneer Boy. Around the far turn, the quarter. Unbelievable, 21 2/5 seconds for the opening quarter. A sloppy track, and they are really moving along right over it. Shake You Down on the outside. Giovanetti, they continue their head-to-head duel. They're 3 lengths ahead of Pioneer Boy. A break of another 3 back to State City. Vodka on the far outside. Highway Prospector is launching a bit, and he's coming through on the rail, and the field turns for home. Shake You Down, a half and 44 flat, now beginning to prevail over Giovanetti. But in the meantime, Highway Prospector is coming with a rousing late run at the rail. It's Shake You Down by 2. Highway Prospector closing in on him. 16th from home. Shake You Down softened up by that duel, but he's still in front. Highway Prospector, a last gasp lunge at the line. Here it is. Shake You Down saved by the wire.
Shake You Down and Mike Leslie by a neck over Highway Prospector. Shake You Down, a horse that has really been in outstanding form of late, a horse with very sharp early speed. In fact, showed his normal early kick here and was just able to hold off Highway Prospector, making his typical off-the-pace rallying move into the 2nd spot, with Vodka also making that big late sweeping move 4 wide throughout. He ended up finishing in the 3rd spot despite having been carried out in the early part. The winner, Shake You Down, is a 5-year-old chestnut horse, the son of Montbrook from Marvin Guay by Rajab. He was bred in Florida by the Ocala Stud Farm, owned by Robert Cole Jr., trained by Scott Lake, and ridden to victory by Mike Leslie. Shake You Down covers the 6 furlongs of the True North in 109.2. We're going to continue with stakes racing action from Belmont Stakes Day with the Just a Game Breeders' Cup Handicap, a Grade 3 flat mile for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Let's head back to Belmont and take a look at the running of the Just a Game.
And they're off. Risk Averse gets out their first. Repository sent out to take the early lead, and Repository will be the early pacemaker, drawing clear by 2, now 3. Silver Rail is reined in to run back in 2nd. Delta Princess 3rd. Love and Kisses hugs the hedge in 4th. Risk Averse is in the clear, running along in 5th. And Wonder Again, drafting nicely in behind horses, is now 6th. At the back of the pack, our Kareem Lady, Mariansky, is the last of them all. So Repository goes out winging there beneath Gary Stevens, so opens up a 6-length lead in the early stages here. The first quarter in 24 1/5 seconds. Repository isolated from the field down the backstretch. She's in front by 7, and there's 5 furlongs to go. Love and Kisses gets a nudge as they move into the far turn. Silver Rail has asked for a bit more. Delta Princess running 4th toward the inside. Risk Averse still under a relaxed hold as they move into the far turn. Wonder Again is running 6 with a half mile to go. Mariansky is launching her bid now on the outside as they round the far turn. And Carib Lady, the half in 49 1/5 seconds. They're gaining, and they're gaining quickly on Repository. Whittling away at that lead, it's 3 lengths. And Risk Averse Risk Averse is now a hard-charging second, and Mariansky is following her on the far outside. And Delta Princess is only 2 lengths from the lead, down toward the inside. Wonder again, looking for a way through down toward the rail. And Love and Kisses at the top of the stretch. Risk Averse, Delta Princess, Mariansky. They'll arrive at the 8th pole together. Mariansky on the outside now. Risk Averse digs down. Mariansky short lead. Risk Averse battles back. A neck behind. A 16th from home. It's Mariansky, and Mariansky is pulling away to win. Mariansky draws off to win by 2.5 lengths at the finish. Close for second between Risk Averse and Wonder Again.
Mariansky, obviously a filly who really enjoys soft going. Not something you see Christophe Clement do all the time, but he brought Mariansky back on short rest here in the Just a Game, getting the surface that she liked, running over a soft race course and ending up opening up by 2 over Risk Averse and Wonder Again, both 2 4-year-old fillies who had quite a rivalry going through their 3-year-old season. Wonder Again did have some traffic trouble in this this race, her second race back this season. Top of the stretch, she was blocked pretty severely at the as they were heading into the stretch for home. But Mariansky was clear every step of the way on this boggy surface that she obviously enjoyed. The winner, Mariansky, is a bay 4-year-old daughter of Gulch from Julie LaRousse by Lomond, bred by Calumet Farm in Kentucky, owned by the Waterville Lake Stable and trained by Chris Clement. Ridden to victory by Jose Santos. Mariansky covers the flat mile on a very soft turf in 1:43.1. We're going to continue with stakes racing action from the Belmont undercard with the Riva Ridge, a Grade 2 sprint for 3-year-olds, $200,000, 7 furlongs the distance. Let's head back to Belmont and take a look at the running of the Riva Ridge.
And they're off. Midnight Charlie fires right out of there, out after the early lead. Midas Eyes was away good too, but the fastest of them all is Bishop Court Hill. Moving up the backstretch, Bishop Court Hill in front of Midas Eyes by 3/4 of a length. Midnight Charlie is running third now. Battle One comes through on the inside. Fourth, Alley Sweep under a ride in fifth. 2 lengths back, Halo Homewrecker. He's about 8 lengths from the front runners. Farther back in the field, an Unhurried Posse and Epic. The field rounding the far turn now. The quarter went in 22 1/5 seconds. Bishop Court Hill still fending off Midas Eyes. The lead remains 3/4 of a length. 3 lengths back, Battle One runs in third. Alley Sweep on the outside. Chavez busy on him. Halo Homewrecker now beginning to hit his best stride. He's leveling off and coming on the outside from fifth. Then a break of another 4. Back to Posse, while 8 lengths from the lead is a threat as the field turns for home. Bishop Court Hill off the turn in front. Midas Eyes and Bailey gets busy. The half went in 44 3/5 seconds. And Posse is third and closing. 1 furlong to go. Midas Eyes wanders to the inside. Here comes Posse, and he's gobbling up the slop with a 16th to go. Midas Eyes full out. Posse powers up on the outside. Ding Dong battle down to the line. Posse, Midas Eyes, either are dead tight, too close to call.
Posse just getting up there under Corey Lannery, and Corey, of course, does not ride in New York all the time, but a very good ride judging the way the racetrack was playing. He was outrun in the early part of the race, made an inside move, ending up coming wide into the stretches, which is generally a good part of this racetrack when it is sloppy and raining, and just gets there by the closest of noses over Midas Eyes, the odds-on choice in the race, who had taken command about the top of the stretch. Halo Homewrecker also looking like a beaten horse, but making up quite a bit of ground late in the running to finish in the 3rd spot, rebounding from a disappointing performance last out. The winner, Posse, is a bay 3-year-old son of Silver Deputy from Raska by Rahi. Was bred in Kentucky by Robert and Luana Lowe, owned by the Highly Broad Racing Stable and trained by Steve Asmussen. Ridden to victory by Corey Lannery, Posse covers the 7 furlongs of the Riva Ridge in 1:22 flat. We're going to pause for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be finishing up Belmont Stakes Day, taking a look at a trio of stakes races from Sunday at Belmont. Please stay with us.
The New York Breeding and Racing Program salutes 3 multiple stakes winners. Here's multiple Grade 1 winner Critical Eye. Her earnings topped $1 million. And thanks to the New York Breeding Program, her breeder and owner each received an additional $80,000 plus in awards. Jet You Miss Blue picked up a lot of green, more than $800,000 in purses. And on top of that, combined New York Breeding Program awards to her owner, breeder, and stallion owner exceeded $250,000. Say Florida Sandy, winner of 5 graded stakes. He's the all-time New York bred money earner with over $2 million. Plus, the New York Breeding Program has paid out an incredible total of more than $500,000 in owner, breeder, and stallion owner awards. Critical Eye, Jet You Miss Blue, Say Florida Sandy, 3 outstanding New York breds. Just 3 of the many examples of why you should get with the program.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We're going to continue with Belmont Stakes action with the Manhattan Handicap, the traditional final race leading up to the Belmont Stakes, a Grade 1 $400,000 mile and a quarter on turf. Let's head back to Belmont in the running of the Manhattan Handicap.
And they're off. Gritty Sandy missed the break, and it's Dr. Brendler who's heading for the early lead, or crash and make that Irish Colonial. Irish Colonial now heading for the lead as they race for the first turn. Then down toward the inside with Anticipation. Caesarian comes on through between horses. Honor and War there on the far outside. Shanmere drafting in behind horses, racing 5th. Then Rockette, followed by Gritty Sandy on the inside. On the outside, Danan. At the back, Dr. Brendler and McCaw. Up top, it's Irish Colonial. Irish Colonial, they've conceded the early lead to him, and Javier Castellano trying to back down that speed of Irish Colonial, who's moving easily, clear by 2.5 lengths. Honor and War sitting chilly second. Caesarian on the outside third. The opening stages are a crawl here, a 26-1 opening quarter. Then farther back in the field, Shanmere tugging his way along up into 4th position with Anticipation unhurried in 5th place. Danan, now sensing the slow pace, begins to move up steadily on the outside. Raquette's in between those 2 horses, followed by Gritty Sandy, Dr. Brendler, and McCaw at the back. The opening half mile was a glacial 53 4/5 seconds. Irish Colonial has been running on an uncontested lead over the off-going here. Still leads by length. Caesarian on the outside, sitting chilly second. Shanmere still on hold on the outside while third. Honor and War is 4th. And then it's Raquette racing in 5th position, followed by Danan, who's now being asked to pick it up a bit. He's only about 5 lengths from the lead. Then Dr. Brendler, Gritty Sandy with Anticipation is tailed off to trail the field. Now they're rounding the far turn. Irish Colonial trying to steal it. Still there, 3/4 of a length. Caesarian is right alongside. Here comes Danan, sweeping move far outside. Danan now picking his way through the pack, and he's now running in 3rd. Shanmere is in behind horses 4th. Honor and War, Raquette in between horses. Dr. Brendler on the far outside at the top of the stretch, and Danan sweeps to the lead. Danan, with brilliant acceleration here, has opened up a clear lead. Leads by 2.5 lengths as they come down to the last furlong. Raquette coming hard now on the outside. Caesarian between horses. Irish Colonial, Dr. Brendler, they're coming down to the finish. Danan getting a bit leg-weary late. Here's a final surge on the outside from Raquette. Here's the wire. Danan wins by a neck. Danan by a neck over Raquette, finishing second.
Denon and Jerry Bailey. In fact, it was a sweep in the 1-2 spots for Bobby Frankel, with Request running second. Dr. Brendler, who had run such a strong race on the soft turf down at Pimlico on the undercard of the Preakness, returns with a very nice off-the-pace rallying move at 22-1. But Denon, one of last year's leading turf horses in the United States, able to hold on by a half a length from stablemate Request in a very interesting stretch duel, a rather exciting duel as a couple of horses look like they might be trying to make a bid from out of the pack. The winner, Denon, is a bay 5-year-old horse, a son of Pleasant Colony from Aviance by Northfields. He was bred in Kentucky by Flaxman Holdings. He is owned by Edmund Gann and Flaxman Stable, trained by Bobby Frankel, and ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Denon covers the 1.25 miles on the very soft turf course at Belmont Park in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Heading back to Belmont now, of course, for the big race of the weekend, the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes for 3-year-olds, $1 million. The Triple Crown on the line as they're going 1.5 miles once around the big oval. Let's head back down to New York and take a look at the running of the Belmont Stakes.
And they're off in the 135th Belmont Stakes. Empire Maker broke alertly. Scrimshaw right there, and Funny Side off to a very sharp beginning. And those 3 scrimmaging for the lead as they move into the clubhouse turn. Dine Ever and 10 Most Wanted just in behind, running 4th and 5th. 5 lengths back to Long Shot Supervisor. Funny Side and Scrimshaw. Funny Side on the outside. Scrimshaw toward the inside, and a change in tactics here for Funny Side today. A change of tactics from the Derby and the Preakness. He is going to be the early leader.
Funny Side in front as they round the sweeping clubhouse turn here at Belmont Park. Scrimshaw will sit back in second, and Empire Maker and Jerry Bailey, they broke from the rail, but now they're on the outside, and they are tracking Funny Side intently as they make their turn into the backstretch now. Then only 3 lengths behind the front runners on the outside is 10 Most Wanted, followed by Dine Ever to his inside, 6 lengths back to trailing Supervisor. The quarter in 23 and 4, the half in 48 and 3/5 seconds. Honest enough. The leader is Funny Side, tracked by his arch rival, Empire Maker, on the outside, glued to him as they continue their run down the backstretch. Scrimshaw's not far behind. He's third toward the inside. Dine Ever now gets a little nudge from Edgar Prado. 10 Most Wanted on the outside, sitting chilly. They're halfway through the Belmont. They've run 3 quarters in 1:13 and 2. And it's Funny Side and Empire Maker 1-2. Scrimshaw, Gary Stevens asking a bit more from him. He's down toward the inside. Dine Ever, 10 Most Wanted, well within striking range as the field moves into the far turn. It's Funny Side still holding that lead. The imposing presence of Empire Maker right alongside. They've been 1-2 throughout. They enter the final half mile together, and now Bailey makes his move with Empire Maker. He is at the throat latch of Funny Side. Funny Side and Empire Maker. There's nothing between them. And at the midway point on the far turn, Empire Maker pokes his head in front. Emboldened by that challenge, Funny Side fights right back. And 10 Most Wanted right there in behind them with Pat Day as the field turns for home in the Belmont. And it is Empire Maker on the outside. Santos has gone to the whip on Funny Side. Empire Maker a short lead. Funny Side is doing his best, but he's dropping back. And here comes Pat Day, and he's coming with 10 Most Wanted. Funny Side has dropped back to third, down to the final 100 yards of the Belmont. Empire Maker Jerry Bailey asking him for everything he has. 10 Most Wanted right there with him. Here's the wire, and Empire Maker has won the 135th Belmont Stakes.
Empire Maker and Jerry Bailey by 3/4 of a length officially. Funny Side was obviously thwarted in his bid, as have so many others, for the Triple Crown, showing very good speed, ended up running a good portion of the race down inside. Not the easiest part of the racetrack when it is sloppy and raining at Belmont Park. Empire Maker putting pressure on every step of the way after Jerry Bailey took back and brought him outside of pace setter Funny Side. 10 Most Wanted, a very nice bid from well off the pace. Didn't have an easy trip of it. He was very wide, but he ended up with a nice second place finish. Perhaps a bid up the backstretch took a little bit out of him. Funny Side, no discredit to him in this performance, beaten by about 5 lengths, but really an honest effort here on the front end every step of the way, under pressure. Early fractions perhaps telling the tale. A very aggressive workout for Funny Side early last week that perhaps took just a little bit out of him, as it was clearly a very, very forward move, 57 and change down at Belmont in preparation for this event. Empire Maker, of course, the Kentucky Derby favorite, has now vindicated a lot of people's hopes for him. Skip the Preakness, comes back in the Belmont and picks up the victory. Certainly a race for which he was bred. He is, of course, a 3-year-old dark Bear Brown son of Unbridled, from Tussaud by Grand El Grand Seigneur, bred in Kentucky by his owner, the Juddmonte Farm, trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Empire Maker covers the 1.5 miles on the Belmont Slop in 2:28 and 1. We're going to continue now with a trio of stakes races from Sunday, getting things kicked off. The New York Stallion Series Cab Calloway division. First time this race has been run for offspring of New York Stallions. $250,000 for 3-year-olds. Short field running 1 1/16. Let's head back to New York in the running of the Cab Calloway.
And they're off. Jet Alert springs out of there, and there goes Sway of Passion up and after the lead. Sway of Passion, Jet Alert, and they're going at it head-to-head right from the beginning. And High Priced is not far behind. Thanasi is fourth. Bobo's Vice fifth on the outside. A break of 4. Cape Pogue outsprinted in the early stages here. As they continue their run up the backstretch, Sway of Passion, heavy pressure from Jet Alert. Those two through a quarter in 22 and 4 in the mud. And High Priced has been guided off the rail in third position by Jerry Bailey. A break of another 4. Cape Pogue has moved up a spot or 2. Bindu fourth position. On the outside, Thanasi and Bobo's Vice at the back of the pack, trailing the field now. Bobo's Vice lags behind as they hit the far turn, the half in 46 and 1/5 seconds. Sway of Passion, now the lead's a length. Jet Alert, and now High Price makes a move on the outside. A break of another 3 back to Thanasi, followed by Cape Pogue. And Bobo's Vice still trailing as they pass the 3 furlong marker. And Jet Alert has come again to take the lead. Sway of Passion down inside. Then High Priced, 3 lengths back to Thanasi, and Bobo's Vice now beginning to hit his best stride as the field turns for home. Jet Alert comes off the turn with the lead. High Price full out driving second. Bobo's Vice continues to close. A furlong from home. Jet Alert trying to hang in there. High Price pokes ahead in front, but momentum has carried Bobo's Vice to the lead, and Bobo's Vice comes from last to first to win it by a length.
Bobo's Vice and Georgie Chavez, second choice in the wagering, picking up a 1.25 length victory over High Price, with Jet Alert back in the 3rd spot. Bobo's Vice outrun in the early going, made a nice move under Georgie Chavez, who has been picking up a few more mounts these days with one of his former main guys, Jim Bond. The winner, Bobo's Vice, is a 3-year-old son of Raffi's Majesty from Bobo's sister Vitalik, bred in New York by the CBF Corporation, owned by James Edwards, and trained by Jim Bond. Ridden to victory by Georgie Chavez, Bobo's Vice covers the mile and a 16th on the muddy surface in 1:43 and 3. We're going to continue with stakes racing action at Belmont with the Statue of Liberty division of the New York Stallion Series. Again, restricted to offspring of New York Stallions, registered New York Stallions, $250,000. Again, this time 3-year-old fillies. Let's head back to New York and the Statue of Liberty division.
And they're off. With Raffi's Dream breaking sharply on the far outside, but King's Empress comes on well in between horses, and David's Dilemma. Then down toward the inside, it's Beautiful America. Ave's Princessa also up with the early pacemakers. The leader is Raffi's Dream in front now, in front by a neck. On her inside, King's Empress runs along in second. Ave's Princessa together with Beautiful America, they're running along third and fourth. The Name Was Gone pulls her way up into 5th position. She's very eager. Then Hanselina down toward the inside, only 5 lengths from the front running leaders, and then farther back on the outside, David's Dilemma, followed by Hot Golden Jet and Board Eligible. The first quarter goes in 23 seconds flat. King's Empress, Raffi's Dream together through a half in 45 and 4/5 seconds. Beautiful America runs on well, running in third. The Name Is Gone fourth ahead, Hanselina 5th toward the inside. Hot Golden Jet about 6 lengths from the lead at the midway point on the far turn. And then it's David's Dilemma down on the inside, Board Eligible. Ave's Princessa has dropped back to trail. Coming to the top of the stretch, and Beautiful America is moving willingly toward the lead. Beautiful America has come on to take over. The Name Is Gone on the outside. Hanselina trying to squeeze her way on through as Raffi's Dream is dropped back to 4th. Hot Golden Jet 5th on the outside. As they come down to the last furlong, Beautiful America and Jose Santos asking her for a run, and she is giving it. Beautiful America is going to be a runaway winner here. Hanselina down on the inside as Beautiful America scores a sharp 6-length win. Hanselina finishing second. The Name Was Gone was third.
Beautiful America, Jose Santos returning to the winner's circle on Sunday, 6 lengths the better of the field, as the favorite Hanselina was able to get the better of Beautiful America last time out, but that one had an awful trip. This time Hanselina perhaps not the easiest of trips to finish second. The Name Was Gone finishing in the 3rd spot. She did run up close early, made a nice move, but was just out finished late for the place spot. Beautiful America picking up her first win this year, was certainly one of the better 2-year-old fillies around New York last year. Nice to see her back in the winner's circle. She's a dark Bayer Brown 3-year-old filly, a daughter of Dixie Brass from Eye of Beauty by Bounding Bass, bred in New York by Thomas C. Reba and owned by Mary and Chester Broman, trained by Mike Hernandez, ridden to victory by Jose Santos. Beautiful America covers the mile and a 16th, a couple of ticks faster than the boys in 1:42 and 2. We're going to continue with the final stakes race of the weekend, the Vagrancy Handicap. Unfortunately, because of the conditions, an awful lot of horses scratched out of this race. A grade 2 $150,000 sprint for older fillies and mares, and several of the fillies in here were cross-entered on the undercard of the Belmont Stakes. Some of them ran. We did have Chocolate Mint scratch from the undercard race on Belmont Day and show up in the gate for the Vagrancy. Let's head back to Belmont. One more race, the running of the Vagrancy.
And they're off. Chocolate Mint fires out first. Gold Mover and Shine Again off third as they race down the backstretch. Chocolate Mint in front. Richard Migliore riding her aggressively, leading by 2. Gold Mover runs along, Sitting Chili second, and Shine Again under a relaxed hold while running third. Chocolate Mint the pacemaker. Opening quarter, 22 4/5 seconds. Still out there, clear by 2. Gold Mover has Shine Again to her inside. Around the far turn, Chocolate Mint continues to blaze the way, moving at a sharp clip here. Gold Mover a length behind in second now, just a nudge from Jerry Bailey on Gold Mover. And Shine Again is ready to roll. Shine Again is trying to come off the inside as the field turns for home. Chocolate Mint in front. Shine Again is shoulder to shoulder with Gold Mover. Gold Mover trying to keep her in behind Chocolate Mint, but Chocolate Mint has to be dealt with here. Chocolate Mint leading by 2 as they come down to the final furlong. Shine Again is full out running second. Gold Mover is dropped off to third, and they're coming down to the finish. Chocolate Mint gonna do it. Long shot Chocolate Mint win.
Chocolate Mint, it's a good thing they scratched her out of the race on the undercard the previous day, or it would have been a match race, but Chocolate Mint obviously ran a big one. She loved the muddy surface on Sunday and broke very alertly under Richie Migliore, who had that terrific break on Rodeo-licious earlier on in the week, was able to hold on by a length and 3/4 as the longest shot on the board in the 3-horse field, over 4-1. Shine Again, the favorite at odds on. Believe it or not, in a 3-horse race, you can still end up in a box if they put you there. Jerry Bailey on Gold Mover really was not giving Jean-Luc Samine any place to go at the top of the stretch with Shine Again. She was somewhat thwarted in her bid to make the sweeping move outside of Chocolate Mint. Once she got clear, she had not enough left to catch the front runner. The winner, Chocolate Mint, is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown daughter of Air Forbes 1 from Chocolate Delight by Pine Bluff, bred in New York by Treasure Hill Farm and owned by Flatbird Stable, trained by Pat Reynolds and ridden to victory by Richie Migliore. Chocolate Mint, another nice New York bred, winning in open company, covers the 6.5 furlongs on a muddy racetrack at Belmont in 1:15.1. That wraps up a very busy weekend of stakes racing action. We hope you've enjoyed the program and will be able to join us again next week on Horses and Courses. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you back here next time.